Hello.
Hello.
How are you finding hosting, Dan?
I'm not really hosting, just saying stuff.
See, this is why I host, Dan. Because when you ask me questions, I can't be bothered to answer them.
I guess that's.
I only get paid to
good point.
So we've got Dennis starting things off with the Deagle top mid, and Kirby's going to take Wenton down. So we have 3 Kevlars remaining on the Astralis side and Karrigan on the kit. 2 CTs for either side. We've seen a bit of a B push here from the CTs, but there's still time on the clock for Fnatic to split the A side. They've got a lurker towards Palace, and people are moving close to Connector.
So Dennis going full Nico mode. Just get the Deagle on the pistol, and then just get a quick kill with it. That's kind of nuts, isn't it? So it's going to be time for Fnatic to start to rally themselves. Now they've got control all over the place. You can see just by looking at the minimap how limited the information is for Astralis, and losing a player already. They're playing almost the most passive positions you can. So this gives Fnatic a lot of space to do whatever they want. And you'll see Zipex is fairly forwards in the apps. This is a great angle because it's so unlikely he'll get fragged, but he can get the info. Sees 1 or 2 players, re-peeks for another couple goes of it, but he's going to get taken down by the Deagle, and that is one of the strengths of having a Deagle on the pistol round, is that just a body shot alone is going to do so much damage against these players who have Kevlar at long distances, and of course at close ranges, or even if you get a headshot. I mean, there's lots of pros to actually having the Deagle if you play it correctly, but we do have Karrigan spotting the mid movement in towards the A bomb site, but it's all going to be down to the headshots at this point, and Karrigan is going to pick off one from the back, and Kirby is in a great position here as well, able to take one down as Fnatic try to get onto the site. So much movement here from Fnatic, and Kirby just spinning around there, taking down the flanking player, and that's great play from Astralis. I really liked what Fnatic were doing, but we had turret mode on Kirby there, so there you go.
Once again, Dan, Kirby is a one-man slaughterhouse. Send in the cows, Dan, or the pigs, if you're in India, perhaps. Cows are sacred over there.
I really like.
You can't even, like, if a cow's in the road, you just have to stand there, parked in front of the cow until the cow decides to move. That's it. That's life. That's how they roll. Fnatic going for the force buy, including JW, the full force here. So the AWPs will come later on. Again, this is a map where we see the likes of Dignitas not opting for an AWP, unless things get desperate on the T side of Mirage. Although you have to wonder if that will change now that KGB is on the team, but we could talk about that more. They're not in this match though, so we won't. Fnatic moving over to the A bomb site now, and again, we don't really see many grenades from them on their eco rounds. Just a big gun. So we've got Crims with a flashbang. But considering the size of the A sites here, it's hard to have such an effective flash. However, Dennis with another Deagle frag here in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, beautiful stuff. And they'll get the bomb down too, so pretty awesome round all in all, but Device's position is scary with that UMP. All it takes is a peek, and of course the UMP is the best of the SMGs for armor penetration. It's unfortunate he doesn't have an incendiary or something, but flashbangs will have to do the trick. Here he goes now, moving in, and able to swap out for the M4. A nice upgrade for him, and the jump will confirm Winton's position, and he'll even get the jumping spray there to take him down as well. So, well, there it is. But the bomb did go down, and there was a frag. So, to be honest, I think that's a win for Fnatic.
Beautiful. They will take that, but they can't buy just yet because of the force. So we'll see how they do in the next round. And this is a fantastic opportunity for Astralis to build the smallest of cushions on this particular round. No Kevlar on any of these Fnatic players. The odd P250 here and there. Nice bit of shoulder picking there from Device. It's always interesting, like if you're an AWPer in the window, for example, depending on the situation, like if you have no information on mid, sometimes you have to peek with your AWP facing jungle. Because otherwise, if you go for a bit of peek, if you peek normally, then your gun's going to come out long before you will. More Deagle kills coming in.
Yeah. If this is how this match is going to go, and we'll have one Deag every round, I'm okay with that. I can live with that. That to me is a glorious result. Kirby's in mid now, just cleaning up these players. Not much to expect here for Fnatic. I mean, they already got a frag out of the Deagle, so That's good. That's pretty decent. Oh wow, Dennis gets another frag here with his P250 for the Fnatic team. So 2 kills. That's pretty respectable.
Nice.
And now the buy comes in for Fnatic. Their money is great. And Astralis will have to defend. Will they get the AWP here? Yes, they will. Tossing it straight over to Device. And this is a very key round for that strong economy for Astralis to start rolling in. And Dennis has got the AWP here instead of JW. So let's see what he can do with it.
All right, where is Dennis? Is he playing a spawn? He is top mid, and JW is going over towards Palace, so I think they're playing spawns with the AWP. Ooh. Obviously, Dennis more than capable as well. Flash coming in, presumably over from the A side. You can flash over connector. Very strong indeed, and the boost will get taken down. That's going to be really irritating. Dennis still in control of top mid for the time being. Does he have any nades on him? He has a smoke, so he can do a number of things for his team in that position. Can smoke off connector, smoke off short, smoke off the CPL itself. Ooh. Zipek's going to be forced from his position. He should have held on there with the flashbang, but that was just far, far, far too long. And he took a risk, didn't pay off. So we go to 4-4.
I want to play Counter-Strike, James.
I'm going to play Counter-Strike, Dan, later today.
So the 4 versus 4, as you mentioned, and that's going to be definitely something to work with for a Fnatic. Astralis, you can see that they don't really know what's going on. They have 2 players to a site, and this is largely due to the fact that Fnatic have waited so long, and that's generally what you want to do when you go 4 versus 4 in this kind of situation, or even 5 versus 4. You wait a little bit, you kind of force any information the CT's had to become bad information because it's been too long since they last saw something, and then they're like, okay, well, we don't want to take a risk, so we're going to actually just fall back to defensive positions and split the sides 2-2. But looks like Device actually going to pick up a kill onto Crims there, and Wenton is going to respond onto Dupree. So Kirby, the turret, has to go turret mode once again, but he's going to fall back here. Smart choice due to the nade that was about to collide with him had he stayed there, and instead we'll have Karrigan moving into Palace. So it's very likely Astralis will try to wait for the setup to work out so that Karrigan is in position before they go for the play in there, because that they need to provide a distraction for Karrigan to get out and do damage. And oh no, what is this, JW? How on earth does he flank that position? Amazing stuff there. And Wenton able to get both remaining kills. Brilliant stuff there from Wenton. 4 kills in that round, and that's going to be Fnatic able to answer back finally. But there is still a possibility here for Astralis to buy. If they really want to force it out, they can, but it's going to be awful, and we would likely expect them to do some crazy shenanigans. Honestly, I think this is a very marginal situation to go for a buy. I think many teams would have saved, because they actually would only have needed one round to save perhaps, but their buy still wouldn't have been amazing. So they want to get it in whilst Fnatic's economy is a bit weaker. Get the pressure, we'll keep the pressure up, and we'll see Karrigan moving up the stairs here from underpass. He might just find somebody. There's Wenton, and he's been spotted. And this is an easy frag for Karrigan. He is waiting until it's a sure thing. He'll pick up the weapon as well. Kirby smoked off in middle. So actually, despite everything, due to the aggression in B apartments and the information gained by Karrigan, there is a serious advantage, or serious advantages playing in the favor of Astralis. Kirby's going to get the frag on mid. Astralis know exactly what's going on. They just have to hit these shots, and so far they do. It's just JW able to do much there from that Palace position with the AWP pick. But he is now known in that position. The bomb is going to slowly but surely move its way into the slope position. I can see it on flasher there for, momentarily. Astralis do have a player by slope though, so if that 1 versus 1 is won by Astralis, you can't favour the chances here of Fnatic in this round. Flasher versus Dupree. Dupree with a superior angle gets the kill. That's the bomb. There's no support to pick it up. That is a really big deal now. Dennis and JW in a really difficult position. If they are to save this round, it will be amazing to see, frankly. The time is running low. 30 seconds. Dennis moving forwards now. Great first kill. That was so quick. And the second one. Dennis is going absolutely ham there with those 2 frags. And now looking to get the third one in similar fashion. And he will, exactly as the first 2 arrive. Dennis delivers a 3rd kill. And now it's just Karrigan. There's 12 seconds left. But these teams will move together and both into the vision of Karrigan. But it doesn't matter. JW with the frag. Dennis just decided that they were going to win that round. That's ridiculous. Sort of going happy mode and just running at the first angles and just striking with extreme proficiency. What a round there. That felt almost guaranteed for Astralis, but it's going to be Fnatic with the victory. And now it's a full eco for Astralis. They can't do anything. Wow. Dennis is a pretty good player. So it's time now for Fnatic to just play an anti-eco sort of around. They realize this. Of course, they are a top-level team. They will be counting the money of their opponents. In fact, sometimes you don't even need to try to kind of count it. You just by feeling. They played so much Counter-Strike, they will just know based on what they saw in the previous rounds. So there is the frag onto Kiabi from Flusher, perhaps playing a little bit of info, and we get the flash into window room there as well. So Fnatic clearing spaces in this round to keep it safe, and the CTs don't have too much going for them right now.
Just mere pistols.
Yeah, the bomb is making its way up catwalk, and Fnatic are about to snap onto the B-bomb side.
The bomb's still on mid though, and I think Flusher should move away because Device is there, and also Dupree, but he seems quite content. I mean, 5 versus 1 at this point, he doesn't need to be worried, and he can mess around a little bit. Less than a minute now. He's gonna plant the bomb finally, and there it is. So simple anti-eco. Not much to say in these rounds. Let's see what Astralis are going to pull out of the bag. What have you been pulling out of bags, Dan, recently? Maybe you can tell me. Okay, well, there we go. Nice. 3-3. Astralis 1-0 up. No AWP on the CT side, and JW is rolling with the AWP on the T side. Currently joining his mates over towards A for somewhat of an execution. So Dupree's going to be looking to play around the smoke. However, he doesn't really have another smoke to go for any resmokes. He can bounce a flash off the wall, but he's kind of running out of time to do that, and you can see him facing the wall there, expecting some flashes to come in on his side. Now, he has Kiabi close to connector, but Kiabi's got no nades to throw over. If he had a flash, he could do a great pop flash for Dupree to face, but Dupree's basically got no help whatsoever, and down he will go. Device going to get shot straight to 1 HP at the back, naded into oblivion. Disastrous start here for Astralis.
Yes, it's not really going all that well, is it? Finally something to answer back with, but it's far a little too late, to be honest.
I think if you're going to play that close to the smoke, when you have limited utility, you either want to be able to re-smoke it, otherwise you're screwed afterwards, unless your team have flashes to get pop flashes for you, either to face and move back, or face and engage and move forward. Either one. Or you want to play with 2 players, so one is close, but then you might not have a smoke down in that situation, where one is inside the slope in the corner, and then you're facing where Dupree was, and then they can back you up. As we saw, I think we saw Crims doing that with a Mag 7 recently, actually. But I want to say it was Crims, but it was someone with Mag 7, but then the teammate was actually looking towards Palace instead. But obviously he's there to help out in reverse if needed. So I think the setup there was a bit weak from Astralis, all things considered. And you saw Dupree ended up getting stuck, and now they find themselves on a full spy with a Mag 7. Not very often you see a Mag 7 on Mirage.
No, not really. It's not got a lot of utility apart from a couple of specific positions, I suppose. The apartments and around them, and maybe the underpass area, maybe slope as well.
You could do underpass if you're able to. Well, yeah. I mean, if you stand there and face behind you, you've got to take a gamble that the flash is coming in, then turn around. You can get that to work. Quickly pick up a gun. Yep,
and you definitely need to pick up the gun, as it's pretty useless elsewhere, is Mag 7. But we do have Fnatic looking for an opening in mid again. They haven't been super strong on some of these mid takes. You know, Astralis have been fighting back just enough in a lot of rounds. It's going to come down to whether or not Fnatic can get that opening kill, though. Astralis have a nice forward setup here.
This is exactly the setup I was talking about. This is what you can do. But Dupree going for a bit of information he will get. But yeah, they kind of got caught out of position afterwards there. Kiabi getting taken down. Did tag went in a little bit, but There we go.
Well, at least Dupree can actually pick up a real gun now if he wants. Looks like he's going to hold onto the mag. Doesn't want to push his luck just yet, but it's Dennis to pick up a frag on Catwalk. And it's really Dennis that has been really, really very important for Fnatic so far to bring them back this far. Because Astralis definitely were looking good to have a much stronger scoreline, but instead it's down to Zipex here. He's alone. He's very alone. His two teammates are so incredibly far away right now. Zipex has to get it done by himself. 6 bullets. And oh no, he's going to wallbang the wrong position here. Does have time to pull out the pistol though. And he's going to go for this guy applying the bomb. Oh my god! Why did that happen? Zipex somehow managed to stop the bomb from going down. I think Fnatic suddenly realized they had no time to plant, but then there was no proper cover for the bomb directly. They knew Zipex was close. What was that? A complete breakdown of communication or something. And Astralis win a very unlikely round. What is that?
That is a hero play, if ever I saw one. Zipex, the man. Bringing it to 4-4 now. We've got Fnatic moving quickly into top mid. And Astralis will want to be holding on to control of Connector in this situation. You saw a bit of a alley-oop kind of grenade thrown towards the mid or short area. I'm not sure what the intention was there. It is a pretty meaty grenade though if you throw it over towards chair. If there are people chair, you can throw it completely safely, basically. The device in the window at present is going to throw HG of his own, but to no avail.
Yes, perhaps it was a bit of an ineffective grenade, but sometimes they are. We got Connector being retaken here by Astralis. It's not like that deep smoke that we're so used to seeing from teams like Dignitas, but they always go for that deep smoke on Connector so that they can take it very easily.
Device actually likes to drop that smoke in himself because it gives him some cover to look through. Most of the smokes at the bottom of Connector are fairly strong for CTs to look over the top of. Although Ts know that and will often get the spam in.
So that's the smoke we needed to see, and I'm sure you're right. It was the CTs tossing the initial one, but Fnatic trying to take initiative here into the A bomb site, but it's not really working out too well so far. Good defensive play from Astralis, starting to hit their shots, and when he needs to get something done from this position, can he get the wallbang? Yes, he will, and all of a sudden a flurry of kills coming out of Flusher. 2 frags, important ones. Here comes Zipex to try to punish. Oh, he gets 1 player down as well. So that's a 2 versus 1 here for Wenton. Can he go completely out of his mind, just like we saw from Dennis? It's going to be an interesting one. They understand his relative position as well. So here comes Zipex and Carrigan. There is the flash as well. Wenton soon to be challenged. With that AK in hand, there's the first engagement, and Zipex is just going to take it straight up. Zipex has been pretty good so far here for Astralis. He's been doing well on Mirage, especially in the last few rounds. Quite reliable, and that's one of the reasons why he's been on the team. He's a reliable support player. He's very good at fragging and clutching as well. He always tries to play it as optimally and as smart as he can. He doesn't ever try to play in a flashy way. But he's kind of like, I want to play this optimally, and I really like that from a player. And you need that in a team. So 5-4 for Astralis. They're back in this one now.
So we've got the smoke top mid, but Fnatic are moving quickly over towards the A bomb site here. The split seems to be on. We might see a bit of a late lurker in mid, as Maniac used to do for Titan, although that lurker is moving into the middle of short now. And he's going to find Carrigan soon. Kiabi getting taken down by Dennis, and indeed that's Flusher, and down goes Carrigan, which is going to weaken the A hold considerably. Dupree doing what he can though, getting a lot of frags actually, down to 2 versus 2, made it 2 versus 1. All of a sudden Crim's alone with the Deagle, and it just escalated pretty damn quickly that. The escalator went off the rails.
It did indeed. When we were in America, I noticed, James, in the hotels when they have escalators, they're incredibly clean. I'm used to the ones in the tube, which are incredibly dirty, James.
Did you say in the hotel in America?
Yeah. As in a hotel.
They didn't have escalators there. They had lifts.
No, but there were a bunch of escalators in the hotel. I was at when I was at DICE.
Oh, okay, so when you say when we were in America, when you were in America and I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice. So here we go. We got the pistols coming in from Fnatic once again for the save, and again, the Deagles. Deagles are delivering in some of these pistol rounds. Yeah, the MP9s purchased as well from Astralis as the anti-eco weapons. And by and large, they perform pretty well. But Astralis has to be careful not to play too heavily into some of these dodgy angles in mid, where we can see Fnatic playing from. I mean, a quick incendiary can deal with these angles very, very easily. So it'd be good to see them use one of those. Ooh, I think Device, did he get tagged a little bit by the nade? I think he did. But in comes Dupree. This should just shut down the round. And nobody's looking from behind, actually. Interestingly, there's the bomb. And there's the flash as well. And he's just going to be able to take down the rest. So, well played here by Astralis. Pretty clean overall, unless Crims does something crazy. I think it was yesterday that Astralis only managed to get 5 CT rounds against FaZe. But then they managed to come back 16-11 or something, or 16-12, with a really strong T side.
That rings a bell, Dan.
That sounds somewhat correct. So we'll have to see if Astralis can bring the same strong T side against Fnatic. We can see that so far, Fnatic are having patchy performances individually. I mean, Dennis has been playing great. But Crim's only on a single kill at the moment, so not having much fun on the T side just yet.
Happens every so often to Crims. I remember one LAN. It wasn't really there for him, as you might say, in the streets of London, Dan. So we'll see if he can catch up here in the second half once we get there. But for now, Astralis have 3 more rounds to win. We'll see if Fnatic can stop them. The Swedes are up top mid with a lurker towards the underpass at present. So the mid take is on. Carrigan will do his best to stop it though. Not much he can do. JW is going to blow his entire magazine, and just to get around the corner before Dupree can punish him for doing so. Always bear that in mind when you are spamming up close, that some people will just hold close angle, wait for you to run out of bullets, and then charge in and kill you. How much information Dupree has attained here, because just as he walks away, 3 Ts come around the corner. Won't see any shadows from those angles. Kyobi loses the pick here. Dupree has to go huge. He's got one, gets a bit of a dink, but that's all he wrote. He's coming in for Zipex, almost gets 2. This is absolute madness, but it leaves Device alone versus 3. Coming in from short, he smoked 3 connector as well. These are serious wars of attrition. So many people lost in a matter of seconds. 4,300 in the bank for Device. He has a kit, but his team's loss bonus is going to start in a doldrums, the bottom rung, Dan. And he is going to go for the save.
Yeah, it's always smart to get the save on the AWP. It's so impactful. It's the single most impactful weapon potentially in a round where your team doesn't have very much, especially on Mirage as well, because Mirage, it can often be a guess, where you send it at the start of a round, and if you get lucky, it's hard for the Ts to sometimes know what's going to happen, but Device really needs to keep this alive. Oh, is he safe?
Oh, that's
so
beautiful,
close.
Beautiful. The fact he had the bravery to not peek there.
And now they, yeah, absolutely. And now they can get a pretty solid force in, because he can keep his AWP and drop for his teammates. And I think there's like 6k on Dupree, so... He's
got a spawn for Palace as well. I'm wondering if he's willing to use it. It looks like Device is going to charge straight into Palace. However, there is nobody over towards A whatsoever. That said, he can continue to push, although maybe a bit risky with the AWP in Palace. Wow. And get some information for his team. That is a good start.
And you can see the, exactly, yeah, the nade, the HE to scout combo there enabled a frag with the first bullet. That's actually pretty amazing. And it does make you wonder if you do get tagged like that. Well, there's no way they could know that there was a scout out, actually. There's just no way that they can know that. So very hard to avoid that situation. So very well played to Zipex. Not often going to see Zipex on scouts as well. Or sniper rifles, generally speaking. So...
The funny thing is as well, the player with the weakest weapon on the team has forced the entire Fnatic side away from the weakest weapon towards the stronger weapons.
That's actually, yeah, that's a good cool point. Although that said, we're going to have a window take, or rather the ladder room attempt, or takeover attempt coming in now. Carrigan's there. He had a nice, actually, the angles here are so nice for the CTs, at least for the initial engagement, but he'll only get 1 frag there. Sometimes that's the problem with the M4A4. The M4A1S. M4A1S. We have the scout here as Zipex doing mad amounts of damage. What is this? This is a very unexpected result. Zipex has been such a nuisance on this B bomb site. First, he creates this spot where there's like no way to plant the bomb in time, that was a super weird round. And then now with the scout, he's able to get, what was it, 3 kills there with that scout to actually stop the plant from going down and allowing Device to come in for the finish. So really excellent play from Zipex there. A guy that once upon a time was in large danger of being cut about this time not this time last year. I think it was in August last year. It was a time period where they were thinking of cutting him.
Well, now we have, it's funny, the game of chase that these two teams are playing. Now we have Device going for the fast smoke into mid and a concentration there with support from another player. But this time Fnatic have 4 over towards A, whereas when Astralis had to spawn to push Palace, Fnatic had abandoned A. Which way will it go though? It's Fnatic with the weaker buy at the moment. Biding their time for now, waiting for the initial nades of Astralis to run out. And as the clock ticks, it's going to get harder and harder to pull grenades out because you don't want to do it at the wrong time and get shot with a grenade in your hand.
Indeed. And we haven't seen Fnatic go to too many set pieces with Wenton. Not too many. I guess they're finally starting to build them in. But boom, Dennis coming alive again. The Deagle is strong, but Dennis can't finish off the second frag. He did a lot of damage to Kirby though, but it won't matter so far. Astralis holding on. No bomb is allowed to be planted just yet. Although, as I say that, will it go down? Looks like it won't. We get the peak in time there coming in from Zipex. He does die, but Wenton has to delay the plant, and he will go for the next repeak. So Wenton is just somehow put himself into a really winnable position. He's in fact got the advantage altogether. So Kirby on the angle, but there's the snap from Wenton. Wenton has been pretty beast so far. We can see he's been doing quite well. One of the top fraggers on his team, and he's going to make Astralis think twice. That definitely should have been an Astralis round. But instead, Wenton will reign supreme, and it will be the 6-8 for Fnatic now. Can they get themselves to the 7-8s? Will Astralis have that really juicy CT side, that juicy 9-6? Oh, I thought he was going for it. I thought he was just going to run through the smoke and just get the pick.
Ooh, no such luck for Zipex. This is the last round of the first half. Dupree answering with aggression and picking up a weapon. Now there's a man advantage for the TTs as Wenton goes down. Did great work in the last round, but that will be it for this half. Rifles onto all the remaining members now. JW and Flusher heavily tagged despite that kill onto Carrigan. Kirby not doing very well either. He is susceptible to being shot through the box as well. Down goes JW. And this could really go either way. Things slowing down. The bomb can't really afford to be venturing through mid with 10 HP there, so Flush will have to join his teammate elsewhere. Crimson in a strong position on short. And Device has been spotted, so does he gamble? Oh, he's waiting for his teammate to come in and get the frag, but Device has moved just at the wrong time as far as Crimson is concerned, and now he is getting taken down from the back, although Kirby didn't have the health to do it. Shoulder peeks, finds out where Device is, and now Device has 2 to deal with. I think Flush was maybe going for a bomb plant attempt there. He's got loads of time though, and indeed he will go down. So now Crims has to take down to 3, gets a nice spray on the Galil. Wide peek, and Device doesn't have enough HP to fire a shot. Nice clutch there by Crims.
Yeah, and you can see, I mean, in making that clutch, he significantly advances his scoreline. Hadn't had much impact on the frags otherwise in the first half. It was largely the efforts of Dennis, Flush, and Wenton. As you can see, we saw some great rounds from all of those players, especially that first round from Dennis, which allowed Fnatic to come back from a ridiculous position where basically Astralis had more or less a 1 round on an iffy buy, and had Fnatic lost that round, I believe they would have been reset. But Dennis just walks in, kills 4 people just with his AK. He made
casually there.
Yeah, it really looked like he just had decided that they were going to win the round there. And it didn't even look like there was any effort expended. But now it's Astralis on that T side, and this is where they were stronger, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out against Fnatic. And they actually have 3 decoys. So I wonder if they, I'm sure they didn't just buy them because of the why not factor. I'm sure they're actually going to use them somewhere.
Are they going, Dan, for the matchmaking, throw decoys towards B with a smoke, and then go A through underpass? Well, they've got a number of people through mid actually, so it seems the B split is being attempted here, and they're drawing out a lot of Fnatic players in mid who will have the range advantage, and it's paying off. Dupree gets taken down by JW, but the bomb is getting planted somehow on B with 5 players alive for Fnatic. Worst case scenario is being ticked off now for the T's. But yeah, Device was in a really bad spot there. He was kind of surrounded, and Zipex is going to be forced to force the issue.
Yeah, a lot of work needs to be done here by Zipex and Kirby to save this round, but the bomb is at least down, and it's been going for at least 15 seconds at this point, so if they can kill enough time, maybe something can happen here. Kirby, was he going with the burst there? I'm not sure, but Zipex will go for the attempt, then he will get shut down by JW as well. Crims will claim the defuse, get the MVP star, and that's going to be a Fnatic pistol round. Very much needed.
So the score's been neck and neck a reasonable number of times.
Available on the iOS or Google Play app stores?
Indeed, I have it on my phone, Dan, which is from the iOS store, the score Esports. I could check the score right now. I can see it on the screen, but I might check it anyway just to be sure, Dan. Sometimes, actually, it's wrong on the HUD, but it's always right, Dan, on the score Esports. So we have Astralis on the force buy on the T side, looking to do what they can. That gun...
It needs to be put down, James.
I mean, minus the yellow, it would be kind of cool. Look like some kind of, I don't know, bright Incan art or something, but now it just looks like somebody had too much paint and no lid for the paint cover. Jumping one shot onto Flusher. Dupree is just a beauty with this eagle. The meat shot's coming in and Kirby will steal the kill. At least he'll get the assist for Dupree. Bomb being collected over towards T-spawn. Not much movement from the remaining Fnatic players. Still 2 men holding CTA and one asking questions towards B. But moving just out of eye shot is Wenton. And he can't really challenge that range with an MP9.
This is what Dupree does as well for Astralis. This is like one of his main purposes. Boom! Wenton's gone, a distant memory now. And it's exactly like that round we saw on Cash, where Astralis started to run away with things. 2 Deagle frags, essentially 3 from Dupree, but it's going to be the finish in the end from his teammates. 3 players surviving, picking up guns here. 3 M4s picked up.
Juicy, Dan, as Biggie would say.
That is crazy. That is so crazy. In the first game, in the first map, on Cash, on the T side, and now the exact same thing in the second from Dupree. That is so beautiful for Astralis. How frustrating is that for Fnatic though? I mean, there's almost nothing you can do against the Deagle. If the guy peeks out and shoots, and then he hits you in the head with a headshot, there's no way to get that frag back immediately. It's up there for that range. So really, really nice for Astralis. Fnatic now for the eco, they're not going to force back or anything. With some teams, you would actually see them do that. I actually like that Fnatic have decided to do this because essentially this will give them a very strong buy round, and they won't basically put themselves in this position where if they do fail the force buy, they'll be completely screwed on the money. Like they'll be so money screwed. So I'm glad to see that they take the safe option. It's not like they're behind a lot of rounds or something. It's still early days. But there's a realistic possibility Fnatic could get a couple frags here on Dennis. He's been pretty hot so far, and he's in the right position with the CZ. Let's see.
Up close, but just a no.
Just no.
But the power button was hit and they got shut down pretty badly. If I was going to get really nerdy, Dan, I'd say the power button was held and the power cut out, Dan. Before the shutdown was complete.
Hard shutdown,
the hard reset. Shutdown, the sit down, the shutdown.
The shut down.
Shut down and sit down.
As opposed to the shut up.
Have you ever been told to sit down and shut up?
Yeah.
So have I. And we'll leave that there then. Have you ever been told to stand in the corner and face the wall then?
Yeah.
So have I. We have so much in common there.
First time that happened to me, I was like 6 or 7 or something, and I ended up, for some reason, passing out. And the teacher freaked out. It's
what now? Huh?
this is the only control I have right now. to control the situation. Yeah. Impending lawsuit.
Tell me to stand in the corner again. I dare you. I'll bring drawing pins with me and put them all over the floor. I'll say you did it. 2-round lead for Astralis over Fnatic. Fnatic going to be on the eco here, on the economical. What else do we say? They've gone for the standard setup here, which is one thing I'd say we've been observing, is when teams go for, on the CT side, on an eco, go for a standard formation, when they've just got USPs, a P250 and a Deagle. they're not really putting the forces together to try and do as much as possible. Maybe they just want to get it out of the way. Although if they did that, maybe they'd rush mid, I don't know. But I would say this, you know, considering the weapons they have, this is kind of maybe the weakest form the team could have with these mere pistols. So they'll, for the most part, get taken down in isolation. Now that Astralis have picked off 2 players, it seems they will try to bunch up and maybe play a bit of a trade game, should it be required. Safety in numbers, as they say. Speaking of numbers, they will only find 1 over towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, so it's a pretty safe round from Astralis, which is good to see, isn't it? I mean, Astralis are one of the better teams at playing these rounds pretty safe. I just really hate that M4. I really just don't often comment on the streams, but that is disgusting. Anyway, it's going to be the 11-8. Astralis, you know, of course, reclaiming significant control after the crazy Deagle display from Dupree. And you can really see why he buys that, why Astralis have worked that in, that he will get often a Deagle, Kevlar, and a helmet, whereas the rest of the team is going to be on a much, much lighter buy situations because of rounds like that. And we got... I was just wondering if Jado's going to jump through there, but he doesn't. He's going to stay on the left side. Perhaps Crims will be either to distract or flash in, or they can get some peeks going in. Same for Flasher. The 3-man mid plate from short connector in mid is always, or window is always really nice with the flashes. We got Kiabi sneaking up from below. So Astralis have some light control in middle, but they still need to take over short. They still need to take over connector. Then there's Crims to try to stop it, but Kiabi gets the angle on the shoulder there, and 2 easy frags just going the way of Astralis. A bit of a no-show here for Fnatic's defense. Yeah,
got to be careful with those silencers, and that gave his position away. It was a strong position with regards to flashbangs, because it's basically impossible to flash people in connector 100% of the time, because you can stand either side of the stairs, and you're probably not going to get flashed at all.
Yeah.
But if you have a silencer...
Because you saw that already looking into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. JW answering back somewhat, but you can see the bomb is in T-spawn, so Fnatic don't really have any idea as to what is going on. They've managed to even things up. Dupree, though, getting taken down towards the short position, may keep Fnatic over towards A, and that might... over towards B, although taking Device down in CPL, they may realize what's up. It's a nice open plant from Kiabi. The T's can be in Palace, although unlikely based on the timing of the CTs getting to CT itself. So they're probably, as far as they're concerned, in slope on the site itself, or maybe connect to jungle, and it is connector where Zipex is. He's got 3 players to find. He wants to get those individual jewels in, but once the first one comes in, he's going to be hard-pressed to find the rest, and he will find 0. The double flash will be enough.
Yeah.
Fnatic take the round.
I mean, that's so interesting, because he looked away for the first flash, and you could very much expect that the timing on the flashes there, it would be off. I wonder if Fnatic they both just threw their flashes, or if they actually said, okay, I'm going to throw a flash, wait till I throw my flash, then you throw a flash. Like, to really make sure that he would get flashed there. I do wonder, maybe it's just coincidence, but that second flash really screwed Zipex over. I think he probably would have got the frag otherwise, and the players were quite low, so very doable situation for him. So 11-9, and you can never underestimate the power of a flashbang, is what we see every day. So quick take of top mid from Astralis, and they've been pretty successful in taking middle, to be honest. Like the setup last round, they've been relatively successful with those. We're gonna get the smoke there for this a deep connector smoke once again, which should very much tell Fnatic that there's a player that will be positioned into that connector position whilst that smoke is up. That's the entire point of it. So it's kind of a big tell, but what can Fnatic do about it?
Again, we close in on the connector position. And we have another smoke in for jungle as well. And that's going to give Kiabi the tiniest gap in which he will find JW completely blind. Now we've got players spraying for both sides. But there's only 1 man down for both sides so far. Players getting taken out towards T spawn, CT spawn. Crims soon to go as well. We've got a bad plant coming in for the T's. Don't have control of short, so this is a safer plant of the 2 more common ones. Although, he could have actually planted it on the other side of the box, so it's exposed to T-spawn.
I just have to draw the attention of everybody to how intricate and awesome that push was from Astralis, because they get the deep connector smoke. Fnatic know as I mentioned, they know what that smoke means. They know that Astralis want to play interconnected with that. And so they put a guy on stairs and a guy on jungle in a crossfire. So they had a crossfire in that position. And then as they're trying to counter flash it or whatever, Astralis, they throw a smoke into jungle at the same time as they pop flash the stairs and jungle position at the very same time, which means that crossfire setup gets completely wrecked. There's an entry frag, and then the guy that didn't die, who was the guy on the stairs, who got ignored by, I think it was Kirby who was pushing through. Kirby's now in jungle, having killed the guy who was on jungle, and he's completely covered from that smoke as well. So they completely wrecked the defense of Fnatic. That was a really cool play, I have to say. Nice coordination.
Yeah, that was pretty meaty, and it's not an execute that I've seen before. Nice.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, and that could be the key execute that maybe gets Astralis over the round here. We can see the money for Fnatic has been ruined. They carry through what they had from the previous round, for the most part. And the bomb's getting planted a lot on this Astralis side as well. There's been 2 diffuses and 2 explosions for Astralis. And I don't know if the elimination rounds, there was a bomb plant in there. It could have been as well. And now we see a different approach from Fnatic with 2 guns in tow.
Everyone's here.
Device is just searching. We actually saw this from, well, we saw similar from JDM looking for the entry, although I think it wasn't a full eco with the entire team standing behind him, as opposed to 2 players, but there we go.
So they must realize that they got a kill, but there's at least 2 more players there. That's what they realized. And the funny thing is that Fnatic understand that Astralis realize this, so they're immediately rotating towards A, which to meet the side. And then we've got a flash there, beautiful flash from Wenton. Not actually going to connect too much, but it's going to be enough to kill 1 player. So really good movement, understanding from Fnatic, but they need to get the frags at the same time. And so far it's not working out too well for them. And with their equipment, you can understand why. Astralis dealing with this very, very effectively, actually. And this was actually a pretty awesome round from both teams, I have to say. Even though it's very simple, it's good to see. And 2 frags will be the result for Fnatic. But it's at this point, they really need rounds. They are, I mean, Astralis are 3 away from winning this one at this point.
Yeah, this is do or die for Fnatic in this particular round. They cannot afford to lose this one. JW cannot afford to buy Kevlar. He will get a kit though. He'll have the only kit for his team, no Kevlar, and an AWP. Not your average setup here. So a device maybe going for a fast peek to get anybody crossing to connector. Prinz will be facing though. Down goes Dennis as well. That is not the start that Fnatic needed. 3 versus 5 now. JW trying to answer back, but again, he's got no armor and he's only 1 of 2 plays left here for Fnatic. There is a player moving through the smoke in mid, and JW is surely going to go down. He has fired so many shots and he's still alive. May fall to the flames, in fact. Finally, Carrigan will get taken down. JW has claimed a bit of a victory here, but he'll be smoked out, and that might help him save his AWP, because surely they can't go for this. 2 versus 3, the Fnatic side starting to back away to save what little they can. If they can save these weapons, then perhaps they can, they're not in as bad a situation as they might have been, although it's still going to suck completely. Moving over towards B, they look in good stead, unless Device moves in. I always find Device is often the one hunting, but with an AWP, which is a little bit awkward. And you can see he's actually abandoned his AWP just in case he gets killed to make it harder for the CTs to retrieve, which I quite respect, and indeed he has gone down. So if they were like, oh yeah, maybe if Wenton wants to try and pick up a second AWP, he's not going to be able to do that. That's the hero play by Device. The hero play. He's got the money to do it as well. Smart decision making. It's the small things that will take you over the line in the tight situation. So a 5-round lead now for Astralis. Open to both teams. So Fnatic managed to get a goodbye around what weapons they have. A goodbye all things considered. But not a goodbye in the grand schemes of Counter-Strike. Again, we have the Mag 7 coming out on the CT side, and yeah, it is usable on A slope. It's not preferred, but it's usable. Device goes for the super slow peek there, and that's just not going to work out for him. If you have a look at Kenny S peeking that angle from a T perspective, it is quite nice indeed. So Dennis will be taken down in response. Device will be a martyr. They will name a street after him. Flush has made his way into the ladder room with a CZ. And we have the usual coming in. Again, so many angles where you can avoid the flashbangs there, and that's one of them. JW putting in work now. That's a great snap onto Dupree as well. So that leaves Karrigan alone once Zepex gets taken down. So we've got Fnatic who've picked up that second AWP. They couldn't really afford to risk trying to take it from Device in the previous round. And Karrigan will make it easy for JW to finish off the last one. 14-10. Astralis though with lots of money in the bag. Device can go straight back to the AWP, and indeed he will.
Is there a way back though, James?
There could be. There could be now. Fnatic survived with 2 players. They survived with, I think, 4 plays that round and 2 AWPs in tow, one of which they picked up from Astralis. So, you know, things are going in the right direction. They are only 4 rounds behind. Anything can happen at this point.
Okay, well, we have JW in middle in the window looking to get that first kill, but the typical smoke's going to deny him, and that's the classic play, isn't it? You smoke it off, the AWPer's like, okay, can't do anything, let's go to jungle, get tracked by Device. But Dennis can't get the full-on spray there, and what? Everyone's dead, James. Everyone's dead.
I literally have no idea what just happened.
Yeah, it's just kind of like more or less commentating what's going on there with Dennis, but by the time I'm halfway through, I realise everyone in the round is dead. But Wenter's making a go of this. He's actually trying to clutch this one. And let's see if he can get something going here. Just switching out for the AWP again. I mean, he managed to pick up 2 fast frags, but it looks like he's just going to get the open run. Giving the respect to Astralis. And that will be the round there for them. They'll go on to match points. So, wow. I honestly don't know how that really happened. I guess we must have had like a very fast play through connector because JW died. That meant there was no defense from the jungle area, meaning that it was a really easy entry into connector from Astralis after they got an additional pick there with the force of numbers.
Well, JW's got the I think JW has the best spawn he could possibly have. I think he's pretty much got the best spawn to go to mid at the very least. But he's going to go to B there, so never mind. But I wonder if they're going to boost him. Sometimes you see boosts in that position, but no, he's not going to be boosted. He is going to be fully flashed, but when he goes for this strafe, oh, he's waited too long and he's going to get absolutely wrecked. If he did it a bit earlier on, then he could have been taken down by, could have taken down 2 players. Anyway, we're down to a 3 versus 3 now. All 3 CTs charging up mid from the same position on short. Can they do this?
It's going to be an interesting one with that UMP on Crims. He's already losing some HP there. Pretty much everyone from the same sort of position. We see Wenton boosted up on the stack of boxes there, and he goes to peek in. So Zipex able to get the quick pick there with the peek. Another one coming in for Zipex as well. Just down to Crims with a UMP against 2 players. He'll look the wrong way, and Zipex gets a third and final kill for the series there. Astralis will win against Fnatic 2-0, and they had their troubles here and there, but generally speaking, they look like the stronger side. And some of the performances we saw out of Dupree were pretty ridiculous, especially having on both T sides that situation where Fnatic win that round, and then we get Dupree answering immediately with a deagle to just win the next round and then reset them. That was pretty amazing. Yanko's back in the studio. What are your thoughts?
I think that you made a good point there. Dupree seems to be the magical player for Astralis when it comes to these second rounds after they lose pistol, and again proves to be detrimental for Fnatic, who had a pretty okay first half, all things considered, on the T side. Again, they win pistol and lose the second round, and after that, Astralis strings a few rounds together, but every time Fnatic wins a round, Astralis wins the following round, and the money system pretty much resets. What I liked from Astralis today, considering their game yesterday on Mirage as well versus FaZe, is that now you've seen them like in the last round of the game, they would group up, go for a fast push here towards the B side. They had one round, I think, when they did something similar towards the A bomb side. But most of these rounds were pretty awkward at times, right? You know, teams around the mid area, players getting caught off guard at times, and it was really messy. Fnatic in the first half really working the clock down, you know, waiting for Astralis to use most of their utility, and then grouping up mostly towards the A bomb side, getting the trade kill. Some great rounds by Dennis and Venton really proved to be crucial for them, but in the end Astralis did manage to take it in the second half.
It does feel like the Fnatic of now with Wenton at the moment, maybe they are still rebuilding, restructuring things. It does feel like there's only individual flair, really. I mean, you have 5 amazingly good Counter-Strike players on that team, of course, and they play some really good fundamental Counter-Strike. But it does seem like, when you have a team that's very good, like Astralis playing them, you don't really see Fnatic at the moment standing out in any particular way. It's just going to be one of the players, like let's say Flasher has a really good round individually, or Dennis has a really good round. But from like a structural sense, or from the sense of being able to outread your opponents, I'm not seeing that as. It feels like I'm not seeing that as much from Fnatic.
That was never the case with Fnatic. I mean, the thing you saw from Fnatic was maybe that, let's say, they're on a weak bias CT, and time is passing. The Ts are playing a slow round, and then they would get at some point a good read. They would flash in, get some map information, then rotate towards the correct bomb site. Right? They were really good at just playing as duos, trios. Getting map control because of great game sense on all of the players. It was never Fnatic doing something extraordinary. It was them doing simple things really well, better than anyone else. And that can be enough if you can pull it, if you can do it consistently, and which is what they managed to do.
So Fnatic going into the future, how do you feel it is right now? Because we've seen quite a lot of Fnatic with Wenton. Obviously, it's probably going to be that Wenton stays in the lineup for quite some time. And obviously, Fnatic are not doing as well as perhaps we would expect with them before with Olofmeister. So do you think they're doing the right things? They're on the right track. It's just a case of experience and building more tournaments together. Or
I think definitely for Wenton, but for the other players as well, because they're really used to the play style they've been playing for basically I don't know 2.5 years now. And they need to adjust it slightly, because I think they tried playing the same playstyle and they saw themselves that it's not working right now without Olofmeister, so they have to make these slight adjustments. And as I said, it's an adjustment both for Wenton but for the other 4 players as well. But I don't think that they will just fall off now or drop off or anything. I think that with a couple of weeks of practice to make those slight adjustments, I think that we'll see them back contending for top spots.
I hope so. And James, do you have anything you want to add about this matchup or any of the teams?
Well, before the match started, before Cash started, I was interested to see how JW would play with the AWP on the CT side. But it was Device which was more of interest to me in terms of playing spawns, trying to go for a Palace pick and so on. But also I found it interesting how Astralis played around A on the CT side as well. Some with the different kind of utility they had, and I think again they made a mistake when Dupree was close to a smoke but had no way of getting away from that, and no re-smoke, no flashes for any teammates, kind of stuck there in one particular round. So those were things that stood out for me. All
right, well,
before we go,
yes,
producer Mike has to draw a winner from our subscribers.
Oh, okay.
For a Flip Knife Tiger Tooth.
Let's get the giveaways on the go.
He'll need to roll and then tell me. Studio. There's a subscriber called Studio. You have won a Flip Knife Tiger Tooth. Congratulations. I will send it to you later. You'll deal with that later on, blah, blah, blah.
Is that the only one?